Hi David. Before we start, I'd like to just say that I did actually struggle with this quite a bit because of being in lockdown and not being around classmates and lecturers to be able to bounce questions off. Um, I know that the original reason I failed semester 2 was because of my donation app. It was essentially just taken from yours, but at this stage I had been trying and I'm struggling to get my head around certain things without being able to bounce it off somebody in person, and YouTube tutorials just aren't helping. I was able to create new fragments. I was able to understand the code. I do understand it. It's just some things just completely trip me up and I get lost. In saying that, I hope you enjoy my project and thank you. So this is my Sleep Manager application. As you can see, it has a similar style to my other application, but I have changed some stuff around. There was a couple of things I haven't been able to change because it's destroying my whole app. For example, something as simple as just my root project name. For some reason, it's just destroying Firebase, and some things won't work on the app after I change it. And I've extensively looked into this, and I can't figure out why. But we'll proceed. So as you see, we have logins here. I'm just going to use an account I already have, and we're going to sign in through Firebase. And as you can see, we're now into the application. So on the first page you see, welcome, please enter your most recent sleep information. Here we're going to pop in that we had 6 hours of broken sleep last night, and the night before we had 5 hours of REM sleep, so deep sleep. This is a good way for people to monitor how they're sleeping, their health, why they're sleeping badly, because we can add notes to each of these, which you'll see later. So if we go up here, we can see our account. We can change our account profile picture if needed. Perfect. Previous sleeps. This is our previous sleeps that we've just entered. These can be edited or these can be deleted. This previous sleep section will be deleted every time that we run the program, but thankfully we have another section for all sleeps where it stores it constantly. So for an example, we're going to look and we can edit this. We can add a little note. We can talk about this is the reason I didn't get so much sleep, X and Y, and you can monitor your sleep for months and months. If we go to this all sleep section, you can see all the sleeps that we've entered, all stored in the Firebase database. Next we can go to the About Us section. It's just a simple section. It's just going to tell you some information about the application, and then the Sleep Tips section. So that's just going to show us some sleep tips. That's it. So these three, I think I've added myself. These two, and I've removed one fragment because it was just getting in the way. There was no need for it. I thought this is a lot cleaner, a lot simpler. Keep it 5 fragments and we're good. And as you can see, everything is going to be persistent. So we have all these sleeps here. We're going to close down the app. We're going to open it back up. And we're going to go visit our all sleeps. And as you can see, all the sleeps are still there, all saved in the database, all ready to be checked. So now we're just going to take a quick look at some of the sections of the code here. This is our activities page. This is our main activity. As you can see, Dave's Auto is still there. As mentioned before, I have tried to delete these, and there was nothing I could really do, as it just completely messed up my project. So I just thought it better to leave them in there. Show you the updated fragments, show you the updated menus, and how everything works, instead of changing one simple thing and breaking everything. So that's my main activity. This is the login activity. A lot of this is just Google sign in and authentication. Here we have some of our fragments. The About Us fragment I'll show you here is simple, clean, obviously, not too much code in there. The About You fragment, quite similar, but different look. We have edit fragments. This is for editing our entries into our sleep schedule. We have several others here. Favorites fragment I actually removed from this menu. It originally was in between these two, but I just thought there was no need for it with a sleeping app. And then you have several others. Purchase fragment, that is the button here to add to previous sleeps. I just haven't changed the name of the fragment. Report fragment, quite standard. This is the reports. And if we look into donation model, quite simple to understand. I think actually some of this was most of this was your code. There was not much I could change to suit myself, so I just left it as is. Now we're just going to take a quick look at some of the layouts just from a different perspective here. We have our card donation, as you can see. It's going to show us sleep, the amount of hours slept, what type of sleep, and if it's a favorite. We have our About Us fragment, our About You fragments. As you can see, quite simple. It's just repeated texts and image views. This is our main fragment, or our main view. As you can see, it's quite overwhelming. On this screen it actually doesn't fit the same, so I did struggle with that. I wanted a lot more space between these two and everything else, but it's fine. I'm sure if I just picked a different emulator it would have solved that issue. But that's just why I think this looks a little hustle and bustle. We've several others here. Our edit fragment, this to edit any entries into our notes. Favorites, as mentioned before, I deleted the favorite section. I found no need for it. Our report section, this is our previous sleeps, all sleeps. It's our report section. And we have our home and our loading and so on and so forth. So that's about it for my project. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry if it wasn't quite to the standard of a normal fourth year student, but coronavirus and being on lockdown and not being able to bounce ideas off classmates and yourself just definitely hit me harder than I expected. I hope this is up to your standard, and thank you very much for listening.